This is Mrs. E. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up your website using Google Sites for your digital portfolio. First thing that you're going to want to do is go open up a tab in Google. And then over here on the right, you're going to go ahead and click on the checkerboard and open your Google Drive. For my class, you should already have a new folder. Click on New and create a new folder titled Ceramics and hit Create. Once that folder is created, go ahead and double click on that. And here is where we are going to place your file for your digital portfolio. So once you are in the ceramics folder, go ahead and go over to New and then scroll down to More. In here you will see Google Sites. This is going to make sure that we're creating your site within your ceramics folder so that you will always be able to find it throughout the year. Once you click on that, it is going to create a new untitled site for you. The first thing that we're going to do is come up to the top left-hand side and we need to title your site. It's going to be your first name and your last name and the word portfolio. Make sure that your first name, your last name, and the word portfolio are capitalized. Once you do that, press enter and you will see that it will go ahead and it will create your website name on the top left right here. If for any reason that you need to edit, you may click on it. If you spelled something wrong, you may click on it and edit, but you will also need to click and edit this one as well once you press enter. So it should have your first name, last name, and the word portfolio at the top left. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we need to create the title for your website. This is your website, your portfolio, so it should have your first and last name. Again, make sure your first and last name each have a capital letter at the first, your first name and last name. Underneath this box, you'll see my arrows underneath the box. I want you to double click and it's going to bring up a menu. We need to add another text box. So click on the T and we need to change this from normal text to heading. And we also want to center this. So go ahead and choose to center. And here we need to title what this website is going to be for. So this is going to be ceramics. And then put in if you're in ceramics 1, 2, or 3, not period 1, 2, or 3, ceramics level 1, year 1, or ceramics 2, or ceramics 3. So put in the year that you are in, and then the school year that we are in as well. So if you're in the first year of ceramics, ceramics 1, and then 2022, 2023, if you're in ceramics 2, or if you're in ceramics 3. All right. So if we come over here to pages, we'll see that this is your home page. We want to go ahead and add 2 more pages. So we're going to come down to the plus down here and click plus. The second page is going to be titled Reflections with an S, plural. Make sure you capitalize and hit done. Now you'll see this is your second page. If you type it in correctly, it will auto populate this title. So it says Reflections with a capital R. If for some reason you spelled it wrong, you may click on it and correct it, but you will also have to double click and correct your spelling on your menu as well. We need to add 1 more page. This page you may title Gallery or Portfolio. It is up to you. I'm going to title mine Portfolio. Again, make sure it is capitalized, check the spelling, and click Done. And it's going to create another. If you spelled it wrong, you'll have to correct it here and correct it here. Portfolio. Like I said, you may also title it Gallery if you would like. It's up to you. If you choose Gallery, make sure that you click over here and you also type in the word Gallery. I'm going to change that back. Up to you. So you see over here you have insert, pages, and themes. Let's go ahead and go back to go to your pages and click on home. You may also click on home here, or you may click on home here. It doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and start laying out the design for your home page. First thing we need to do is come over to Insert. And if you come down here, you'll see some different templates. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in a content block. And so the content block that we want to choose is this first one right here. Once you click on it, you see it automatically puts it onto your page. So this is going to be your home page where anybody coming to your website is going to see some information about you. First thing we want to do is go ahead and resize this box. So go ahead and click on the dot and drag it over. Let's resize that to about a square. And then you'll see you have a really big gap now between this picture box and this text. So go ahead and click on the text box and also resize that. And now you'll see that you have just a small space between those. When you're resizing, you'll see this little grid pop up. And so you can kind of use that grid to align your items. For your title on your home page, we are going to be writing an artist bio. So the title here is going to say about the artist. Make sure about an artist is capitalized. This is called title case, where you capitalize the words in your title. Not every word has to be capitalized, such as the and of, those small words, but make sure you capitalize it just like this. So this is all we're going to do on your homepage today, because we're going to come back about the artist, and your artist bio is going to be another assignment later on, and there's another video for that later. So this is all you need for your homepage for today. So make sure that you just check that you have all these items. Next, we need to go to your reflections page. So you can click here, or you can come back over to pages and click here. Doesn't matter. So let's come over to your reflections page. We need to set up some content boxes. You're going to be doing about 10 reflections throughout the entire year, semester 1 and semester 2. So first thing we want to do is add a content box here as well. So we use that same content box that we used for the home page. So this top one here. It has a picture, title, and paragraph. And we're going to do the same thing to this, is we're going to change the size of this box. And we're also going to change the size of this box. So we're going to go ahead and add in a title. So we'll title this Reflection 1. And you can just leave that blank. As the reflections are assigned, I will tell you the titles for the different reflections. One thing that we need to do here, though, is you'll see this is basically called a content box. Everything you have here is inside this box. Everything for Reflection 1 should all be within this blue box. What we need, though, is we need to add a caption below. This is going to be a picture. So when you are creating a site for art, photography, visual art, anything, you always want to make sure that you have captions underneath so that the person looking at your website can see the title of your piece and also the dimensions or the size of your piece. So here between these two, you'll see that you have the large box and the smaller box. And this little space in between, I want you to go ahead and double click and click on the text, which is the T. And we're going to add a caption that says title. Make sure it is capitalized. You're going to put a colon after it, space, and then go ahead and down here, it's going to say size, a colon and a space. Like I said, as you're creating pieces throughout this year, we're going to make sure that you're going to give them a title. It's up to you as the artist to title it. And you're going to put the dimensions, width times height. We will measure things as you make them throughout the year. For Reflection 1, this will be all you need. What we're going to do, though, is if you come off to the left here, you're going to see you can actually do different styles. You can add different colors. We don't need to do that right now, but you can make your site more unique by doing that. What we're going to do, though, is you'll see it's two squares that look like they're overlapping. It says Duplicate Section. We're going to go ahead and click on Duplicate. And I want you to go ahead and duplicate this 10 times. I know it sounds like a lot. You may have to go back and count them. What you can do is actually come back and just renumber them. So Reflection 2, Reflection 3, and so on. So I'm just going to do this And the reason that we're doing this is it's going to ensure that your website has the same formatting throughout the whole site. Everything will be set up exactly the same. It'll give your site a nice cohesive design. It'll make it look very well organized and very professional. Oh, wow, I did 10. All right. I didn't even think I was going to do that. All right, there we go. Last thing we need to do is set up your portfolio page. So again, you can click here or you can go over to Pages and click on your portfolio page. And here we need to go back to Insert. And here you have two options. You'll see you have some different options over here. There's one that has 3 pictures across. There's one that has 4 pictures across. It is up to you how you want to set this up. So here's an example of 3 pictures across. These are going to be pictures of all of your projects you do throughout the year. Pictures before they are fired, so they might be raw clay. And then we're going to add pictures after they're fired when they have a beautiful colored glaze on them as well, so finished work as well. So on your portfolio page, you will have a minimum of 12 images, but you might have as many as 24 if you do before and after pictures. Here you need to decide whether you want to put a title under your piece. These smaller, you can decide whether you want to do the small title or the large title, but please choose one and then delete the other one. So I'm going to delete the small one. So I'm going to click on the box and then come over here to the trash can and delete that. So now I have 3. I'm going to come over here and hit duplicate section so that I have 12 boxes. So that's one way to do it. I'm going to delete this really quick and go back. Your other option is you can use the 4 squares. So there's 4. And you'll see it comes with small titles. You do not have to have titles under your work. If you do not want titles at all, just go ahead and delete those. It's totally up to you. I'm giving you some freedom on how you do this. And here again, you'll just copy so that you have 12 boxes, and you'll see that they're all laid out very nicely. Another option, again, this is your portfolio page. So another option is you could do, say I wanted to do 3 pictures here. Again, I'm going to choose which size title, and say underneath I want to do 4. And then say underneath that I want to do 3. So if you want to give your website a little bit of a different look, you may do that. Maybe I want to choose a layout like this with 3 boxes. The only thing you need to think about is if you're doing something tall, like a cup or a vase that's really tall, this box may not work. So you can see. So another option that you can do here is you can resize this box, and then you can copy it and put it over here. You just have to make sure, you'll see when you're moving, you see these grids and these lines. You just want to make sure that everything is very well lined up. Again, you don't have to do this right now. This is something that you can decide later on. You can also drag these sections. If you put your mouse over these little tiny dots right here, you can actually drag these sections and move them around a little bit too. Like I said, if you're not going to put titles under your work, then just don't have titles under anything. If you did want to add titles under your work, then you can just make sure you have titles under everything. Just make sure that it's well laid out. Please do not just add random boxes here and there, or you're not going to have a very nice layout. If you do need any help with this section, please let me know. You want a minimum of 12 boxes here. The last thing there's 2 more things that you can do. So let me show you. If we go back to the home page, there's a couple options. So you cannot leave your site like this. You need to customize it. Remember, this is going to be your site showing off your work and what you've learned this year. So another thing you can do is come to header type, and you can go to change image. So you can either select an image off of the images that they already have. So you could do that. You'll see if I do this though, it does not change the images on all 3. So you will have to go and actually change the image on all 3. So I just went to select. And you don't have to have the same one on all 3. That's totally up to you how you want to do that. You'll see how it changed the font from white to black. And the reason why it does that is so that it shows up better over the picture. You may also go to select image and say you want to type something in. So I want to search pottery. And I want to find a cool picture of just a bunch of random pots. You can do something like that as well. You may also upload a picture. Like I said, just make sure that this has to do with your artwork from this class. So I'm going to just come in and just put in something random. Again, make sure that you do all 3 of your banners. They don't have to be the same, but just make sure you customize those. One other option that you can do is if you are in photography class or you're in art class, you have another class where you're building and creating things, even carpentry. If you have something where you would like to create a portfolio for that class as well, you may also do that. So say the student is in art, I'm going to come down to the plus sign and I would add another page. You can just title it Fine Art, or I might call it Fine Art Portfolio. That's totally up to you. If you are in another class, just make sure that you would drag this, that this would be the bottom. So make sure these top 3 are in order, and then you can add another page down here. The reason for that is I do have students that already know what it is they want to do. They want to get into a program or a school. And so this portfolio that you build will stay with you the entire time that you are at Talkwitz. And I have had students that use this portfolio to get into schools. So that's totally up to you. If you create an extra page you don't want, you may also come over here to the menu and you can delete that page. Last thing, come over to themes, and you can also come through. I want you to just check this out because you can come through here and create a different theme, customize your page as well. Also, you'll see when you customize that you can choose different colors. So go ahead and explore that. Find a theme, find a color that you like. And that's all we're going to do. Once you are done, go ahead and hit publish. And you'll create your web address will be your first name and your last name and the word portfolio. Already taken because I already created one that says that. So I'm just going to throw a dot. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to throw a dot between my name and the word portfolio. So if you have a really common name, you may have to just throw a dot in there. Like I said, your first name, your last name, and the word portfolio. Oh, just kidding. Anyway, perfect. I will have another video that will show you how to publish, how to set up your URL, and how to add other items to your portfolio. But this is the first step. So if you need any help, please just let me know.